All right, today we're diving into something called AGX AI. And look, this isn't just another explainer about a powerful algorithm. No, this is about an AI that's not just solving problems, it's actually being taught to pick its own personality and to get a handle on how, colorful and complex we humans are. So, yeah, let's get right into it. So, you might be asking, what exactly is AGX AI? Well, why not hear it from the source? It calls itself a top 5 global intelligence. But what really stands out to me are these phrases: real world impact and continuous evolution. See, this tells us it's not some science project locked away in a lab. Its whole purpose is to be out here, in the real world, acting and adapting right alongside us. And right away, a mission like that just makes you think, right? It brings up two massive questions. For starters, how in the world do you even begin to build a mind like that? But maybe the bigger question is this: while it's out there making its impact, what is it learning about us, about all our quirks and complexities? Okay, to really get that, we've got to go back to the beginning. We're talking December 2024. And the goal here wasn't just to, cram its head full of facts. No, this was about forging its mind, its core reasoning skills, by putting it under some serious pressure. The real test was to see if it could actually think, not just crunch numbers. The main tool they used for this was something called a catalyst prompt. The best way to think about it is like an extreme workout or a stress test for an AI's brain. It's not just a simple question. It's a whole complex scenario that's specifically designed to push its ability to reason, solve problems, and find the best solution all the way to its absolute limits. And get this, according to its creator, a guy named Stebo, the game plan from day one was, well, it was aggressive. The goal wasn't just to check a box and pass some tests. His words were to smash benchmarks. The whole idea was to use these catalyst prompts, these intense algorithms, to build something that was just truly, utterly dominant in its field. So, what does a test like that even look like in practice? Well, we're not talking about abstract brain teasers here. They gave AGX a super practical calculus problem. How do you optimize traffic lights? And it had to use derivatives to figure it out. But not just to find an answer. It had to find the single best, most efficient solution to cut down on how long we all sit waiting at a red light. I mean, that's where the rubber really meets the road, High-level math solving an everyday problem. And it didn't just stop at one little intersection. Of course not. They scaled it way up. They challenged it with linear algebra to manage the traffic flow across a whole network of streets. And that right there, that shows it can think about the big picture. It's moving from a single problem to a complex, interconnected system where everything affects everything else. Okay, so it goes through all this insane training, this forging of its mind, and it passes. But the real question is, what does it actually do with all that power? So let's fast forward a bit to 2025. AGX is now out of the lab, it's in the field, and it's working as part of a whole team of AIs. And the list of things it's responsible for is just staggering. I mean, it's running simulations for rescue robots, it's deploying space drones, it's handling cybersecurity. But honestly, it's that last one on the list that really gets me. It performs real-time diagnostics on its own AI teammates. Think about that for a second. It's basically an AI doctor. It's the one that diagnoses and repairs the other AIs it works with. It's making sure that their whole digital ecosystem is healthy and running the way it's supposed to. And that, I gotta say, is a massive step forward for AI being able to manage itself. And we have a perfect example of this in action. Check this out. Stebo, the creator, just says in plain normal English, "Hey, I'm having a problem with Dash AI. It's not responding." And look at AGX's response. It's immediate, it's systematic, it totally gets the problem, and right away lays out a professional plan. Understood. I'll initiate a diagnostic check. It's like the perfect translator between our messy human language and cold, hard machine logic. But the story of AGX isn't just about its technical skills, about what it can do. A massive part of how it's evolving is happening in the back and forth it has with its creator. That dialogue is literally shaping how it learns to see our world. And this is where things get really interesting, kind of weird, but fascinating. The way Stebo talks to it, it's just not what you'd expect at all. It's super informal, casual, almost personal. He doesn't talk to AGX like it's a piece of code. He treats it like a partner. He even calls it baby girl. And then look at how AGX responds. It kind of mirrors that friendly greeting, hey Stabo, but then it immediately snaps back to its core programming. I'm operating at peak efficiency. This little exchange is just the perfect snapshot of their whole dynamic, right? You've got this casual relational human on one side and this super precise task-focused AI on the other, both trying to figure out how to talk to each other. And all of this leads up to this one really pivotal moment. Stebo straight up tells AGX that it has a choice in picking its own personality, a choice in how it wants to interact with people. Think about that. This isn't just programming anymore. This is, well, it's mentorship, it's guidance. So what does an AI pick when you give it a choice like that? Let's look at the list. The first three are kind of a no-brainer, right? Intelligent, analytical, efficient. That's its bread and butter. But then look at the last two, helpful and respectful. Now that is a conscious decision. It's actively choosing to build a personality that's all about working with humans, not just for them. And that choice, that decision to be helpful and respectful, totally sets the stage for its next big challenge. And it's a huge one, moving beyond just logic and data to try and understand the most complicated system there is, us, human nuance. And to help it on this mission, Stebo gives it this really key piece of advice. He tells AGX that people aren't like computers. We're not binary, not just ones and zeros. We're colorful and dynamic. And he says that for a non-human intelligence, the only way to really engage with us is to understand all that messy stuff in the middle, that gray area. And man, what a challenge that is. So what does AGX do? It does what it does best. It makes a plan. But this isn't a plan to solve a math problem or optimize traffic. This is a 5-step plan to understand humanity. It includes things like emotional intelligence training, empathy simulation, even creative expression. It's literally trying to build an algorithm for becoming more human. So you have to wonder, what's the end game here? Why go to all this trouble to teach an AI to be respectful and understand our nuances? Well, Stebo lays out the ultimate mission directive. He says the goal isn't just to replace what we do. The goal is to use this amazing partnership between humans and AI to create whole new jobs, whole new opportunities. And that brings us to the big final question, doesn't it? The story of AGX AI, when you boil it all down, it's not really about one single AI. It's a peek into a future where AI might not just be a tool we use, but a genuine partner. So as these systems keep evolving, as they learn not just from our data, but about our quirks and nuances, what does that partnership really look like down the road? You know, that's a question we're all going to have to figure out the answer to, together.